at Sha Tin for us this Wednesday night for the first of our all-weather meetings for the season. 8 races on the dirt at Sha Tin after a weekend at Happy Valley. Very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined here in the studio by our form analyst Paul Lally and race caller Brett Davis as well. And Brett, it's a Halloween special at Sha Tin. Will it be trick or treat?
Hopefully it'll be treat, Andrew. It can be a place, the all-weather track, as we know, where you can find some value. First of 5 full all-weather meetings at Sha Tin for a Wednesday night. So we've got probably, 10 races so far this season on the all-weather, or around about that mark to work with. There are some that are going in fresh. There's a couple of good quality horses too, like a Glorious Artist, who's unbeaten on the surface. So it'll be a tricky little playing stretch, but if you can find value, you'll be doing well.
Absolutely. And we've got some jackpots as well heading into the programme, Paul.
Yeah, we've got some good ones, actually. Races 2, 4, 6 and 8, the even numbered races there. We've got 800,000 going into the quartet and the first 4 merged pools. So a little bit of extra incentive there to have a go at those bet types if you don't normally have a go at those, if you're in Hong Kong.
Right, well, we've got plenty to get through on the show today, so we'll launch straight into it. Looking back on the weekend at Happy Valley first with our racing review. Now, there was no cup race as such, but it was a good day's action, highlighted by Good Omen and Douglas White, who secured his 1,800th winner here in Hong Kong.
Yep, there were a number of highlights on the day, but this was clearly the top pick, wasn't it? Douglas White, what a formidable jockey he's been here in Hong Kong. First started in 1996, 1,800 winners, 13 premierships, multiple group wins all over the place. He dominated Hong Kong for such a long time. Things have obviously, the landscape's changed a little bit in the past few years, but he's still grinding away. And obviously his body's holding up quite well too, because he's 46 now and he doesn't seem to be showing any signs of slowing down. Great effort, credit to him.
Yeah, no, really well done to Douglas. And this horse is a nice horse. He came here for a derby preparation. It obviously didn't quite go to plan, and they brought him here to Happy Valley, got back. A few unlucky runners in the race, if you could see that. Ultimate Glory, who only really gets a go to at Happy Valley during the day, and he got spat out the back and a bit of interference there, but it was a really good win, and well done to Douglas. He's been such a long-serving servant here in Hong Kong. He's done very, very well, and he's reaped the rewards. 13-time champion jockey and 1,800 winners. Looks very hard to beat, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say he's a legend of Hong Kong racing at the moment.
He is, yeah. He's on the countdown to 2,000 as well. Yeah, he's not stopping there. It's 1,800 and counting. All right, so, well, he was one of the big winners on the weekend, of course, Good Omen. Hopefully we can find you some more, though, in a moment. But just a quick check on the ratings before we go there. No huge moves there. It was very competitive racing on the weekend. It
was. Good run from Nordic Warrior. He was a real improver and got 7 points. Obviously, Alma Baby was a big price winner, as was Jade Fortune. They were the 2 trickier and harder ones to find on the day. Khaki, I thought, sat wide, no cover. Showed a little bit of class in the end, and he got 7 points for his trouble, as did Starlit Knight. But yeah, it was fairly level across the board.
Yeah, no, it was good winning there from Khaki, and he'll stay in the grade now, only going up 7, so the handicap has been kind to him.
Yeah. All right, right of the day, probably Karis Teton on Clement Legend in the first. Right, let's get back to the winners in waiting with our horses to follow. All right, we had a couple of first starters on the weekend, Paul, and one of them caught your eye?
Yeah, Green Luck. I thought this was a really good run from him. First up here at Happy Valley. You can see him back there on the rail, and once he got a little bit of clear air here, I thought he went very nicely, and he hit the line very well, I thought. It was a good run from him fresh up. I didn't really like his trials going into it, so I thought the only thing he could do was improve off this run, and the best part of it was the last 50 metres there when he really hit the line. So 1,200 metres, you know, even up to 14 at Sha Tin looks no problem for him.
All right, a 2-time winner before he arrived here as well. 1,000-metre dash, you picked out something for us, Brett.
Yeah, I like the run of Fearless Fire, actually. You can see him arrowed there last. He's alongside a Mega Heart, who was very much in the market and given a really good chance of winning the race. He got to the outside and he really let down quite strongly in the end. I thought this was not quite a nice effort from Fearless Fire, trained by Casper Founds. He'll probably go into Class 4 after finishing down the track here. He was rated 61. He was a former UK galloper. A little bit further he wants, and the drop in grade will just be nice.
All right, we'll look out for him. Optimum For me, he's already had a few starts here in Hong Kong. Hasn't scored yet. This was over the 1200 metres. Now, he's a Group 3 winner in Australia before he arrived for Toby Edmonds. He won at Moonee Valley, won the Red Anchor Stakes, making just about all the running on that occasion. Looks like he's found his feet now. This was Alma Baby winning the race. Feel a bit sorry for Albanong. He missed. He would have been riding this horse, but out through injury. Missed a winning ride there. Eptimum, I think he'll be one to watch in the future.
Yeah, Jenny mentioned 2 horses had won the Red Anchor. Lean Ambassador was the other one, but he ran really well behind a Little Giant too, the start prior to that, and that I think will turn out to be a good form reference.
Yep, I think he might be okay. All right, let's have a look at the suspensions and fines via the Stewards report. Vincent Ho on 70-70, got a couple of days and 20,000, 25th to 29th, and Jack Wong on Thunderstomp, 2 days as well, the 14th to the 19th. As far as scratchings are concerned, going into this week's programme, 2 out at the moment. Sweetie Barley would have had a big chance as well in race number 4, now replaced by Winning Supreme. Vincent Ho will be in the saddle, and King Canaloa as well is out of race number 6. Knocked his head, I think, King Canaloa, so more news on that later. But chart in. 8 all-weather races we have for the 31st meeting. The meeting on the 31st. Class 5 is how we start, with over the 1650, with Forever Posh from Barrier 14 drops into Class 5 for the first time. Master Bernini finds himself in this grade for the first time as well. Soccer Brave, a course and distance winner in June. Superior Boy will roll forward from Barrier 1. Me Blanco gets the blinkers back on. A first start for Paul O'Sullivan. Sunny Orient, first time on the all-weather for him. Magic Agility yet to win in 13 starts. And Gentleman, there's one on the all-weather over the 1800 metres. They switch the cheek pieces for the blinkers. They go back on Wednesday night. My Honey and Jimson, they're famous, have been up at Chung Fa, arrived back on the 19th and the 26th, respectively.
Yep, here's a little baptism of fire as we head into the full dirt program. 7.6 favourite in the first in the early market, so it's pretty open. Gentleman, Sunny Orient, My Honey rolls forward, Jimson the Famous, Superior Boy, they can all be there. Soccer Brave, of course, has won on the dirt in the past from Low Gates, being handy to the speed as well.
Here is Victory Follow Me. He's a winner on the surface. Actually, last time he raced on it, he won. And that was the only time he's won here in Hong Kong. But he looks really fit and he's going nicely coming into this race. Assistant trainer on board this morning who's allowed to stride out. I thought I'd show My Honey because this is the first horse from Tony Cruz that's actually been up in Chung Fa and come down and raced. He's had a lot of horses up there in pre-training, but he hasn't had one race from up there yet. So that's My Honey. And Jimson the Famous with Grant Van Niekerk, he's going nicely here as well. You can see he's under a real decent hold as he comes down to finish off. And he's another one that does like the surface, but he can be unreliable.
Another one that's been at Chun Fa.
All right, OK. Well, My Honey is where we're going to start in actual fact. This is last season, and it's his second last start last season because it's over the 1650s course and distance here. Yeah,
he hit the line nicely enough here, My Honey. As I say, he's been up in Chung Fa for quite a while, this horse. He's done a lot of slow work. I just didn't know where he was going to be from Barrier 8 here fresh up, so I left him alone.
He'll be going forward, I would have thought. He went forward here. He was forward in his trial up at Chun Fa. So I presume they will roll forward with him. He is an ISG who took a long time to find some form. Like many in this race, hard to get confident about him.
All right, OK, that's My Honey and Jimson the Famous. Soccer Brave, some winning form here, and Me Blanco, then with Tony Millars, now with Paul O'Sullivan.
Yep, and Paul's putting the blinkers back onto Me Blanco. And Soccer Brave is a horse that's won 3 times in his career, twice over this course and distance, and once for Douglas White. And both times he's won over or on the dirt, he's drawn well, and he's drawn well again. So you can see what he did here to the opposition. You know, Jimson the Famous is actually down there on the rail in 4th. If he can get away from Barrier 2 and get himself into the early sort of fray, get a position, that'll give him a good chance.
Yeah, I think he can. There's a lot of pace in this race. The horses going forward like My Honey, but Gentleman as well. And the other one that's likely to go forward is Sunny Orient. So with those ones going forward, I think he can just slot them behind.
All right, so some positive news for him. Look at some turf form here with Superior Boy, a Golden Cannon and Sincere Horse. It was certainly Sincere Horse's best effort so far.
It was. He's had a lot of issues, Sincere Horse. Golden Cannon I actually thought ran pretty well, all considered here. He is a horse that's drawn Barrier 13, only been on the dirt once. If he can get his engine up and running early and maybe attempt to charge over and try and find the front, that'll give him a chance. But the barrier was an off-turning factor. Superior Boy, was a nice enough run, but I'm done with him. He's drawn barrier 1. 16.50, I think, will stretch him. Probably win now, but honestly, how many do you give him? 31 he's had so far. He's still a maiden.
Yeah, I've left them all alone, those ones.
We'll give him 32 chances.
Are you kidding me, aren't you?
Master Bernini, what about him? I thought he should have probably won in Class 4, and now he finds himself in Class 5 here.
Well, if you want Superior Boy, Andrew, I'm happy to take him on head-to-head with this guy, Master Bernini. Right. Go back to last season, the 2nd of May. He finished 2nd here, cut down by some reasonable types. Nam Jong Invincible, remarkable darting through. He gets the drop in grade here, drawn 5. I thought his work leading in was good. Winner for me.
Yeah, I've got him in the numbers. I got one to beat him there.
All right.
Him against Superior Boy?
Yeah, go on then. Yep, head to head.
Beauty.
Fair enough. What do you like then, Paul?
What's it for?
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Question.
I've got I've got Victory follow me on top here. I just think he's been working really well, and his win has been on the all-weather surface. Master Bernini comes down in grade. He's a 14-race maiden, as we said, he should have won one by now. Jimson the Famous, he can pop up occasionally, and Soccer Brave I thought would get the best run in the race. So 3, 2, 13 and 5 and went exotics.
Master Bernini, for me, it is an open race, but I think off the basis of that replay we saw a moment ago, going in with a couple of runs under his belt on the turf, back onto the all-weather, good barrier, little claim for Jack Wong. Master Bernini can posse up on the back of the pace and get a really good chance of winning his first race for me. Jimson the Famous is the tricky one with a lightweight. Me, Blanco, Soccer Brave if he posies up, but I'm going to keep this race simple and just play the 2 each way. Not eachy way.
Not eachy, just each. All right, that's the first race over the 1650. Race number 2 is a Class 5 as well. We drop down, though, to the 1200 metres.